Black Power was good, family. Congratulations, y'all efforts been paid off. We got word that a young brother did begin working over here this morning. So that's another position we've been able to, help folks from the community gain over here. And, all y'all critics, we know this is not what revolution's all about, or this isn't even part of empowering ourselves or self-reliance, but because we have once again been reduced to substandard conditions, the immediate need for a lot of people says that, they can come into these jobs and feed their families and get other resources they need immediately, paying these rents that are going up and other things that are needed. So, the long-term thing is to build back up our businesses, and that's why we strongly suggest to everyone who's getting those tax refunds over the coming weeks to invest them. We keep saying the beauty supply because we see it's like crack. We've seen over the past year, sisters been attacked in these shops. Other sisters just can't give it up. The other night, I think it was last night, we sat out here in the rain and we saw a sister beg the dude after closing to open up the door to let her buy some eyelashes. And so after about 30 minutes, he finally came to the door, talked to her, and then about another minute, she talked to him and finally convinced him to let her up in there. So, something that we sure you will see a nice return. You, maybe a collective of folks, invest in where you could buy at wholesale at a competitive price that these other folks are getting. And again, they got a Korean Grocers Association, a huge organization that pulls all of them together, their resources, and allows them to buy dirt cheap and sell dirt cheap. So again, that's something we most definitely got to look at. But again, with all these tax returns coming in, rather than tricking it off and losing your money on these products, invest in wholesale, y'all, whether it be shoes, clothes, this whole Gucci Prada situation. I don't know why folks are surprised, White folks are, again, telling you what they've been telling you for years. I think it was Hilfiger and a couple other folks, told y'all the same crap. And folks getting, mad at Mayweather. But if you look at blackface and you know what blackface is about, that's white folks mimicking cats just like Mayweather. Blackface is white folks mimicking what they believe are ignorant, dumb Negroes. And his response in that video is most definitely showing, as talented as he is, as business-minded as he is overall, socially, culturally, he's an idiot. But that's who they give that type of money to. So, but those of y'all getting your hands on these tax refunds, y'all, invest them. In addition, well, before I go there, let me just say, we will continue here at the Plaza. We do have some strategies. We're going to switch up a little bit, but we need y'all support. Those of y'all who've been calling, abstaining from coming here, it's shown, it's had an effect. At Burger King, they saw a few of y'all walk away, a few of y'all back up out the driveway on a few nights in the first couple weeks. So that most definitely helps them to correct their practices. And that's what's happening. So we still got 9 other businesses over here. We need to, conform. So we're going to stay on it till that happens. But, at this point, salute. And the coming days, weeks, we're going to most definitely be putting out ways y'all can continue to help us. Also, tomorrow, there's going to be a mass meeting at City Hall. Some of the most brilliant, powerful black business minds in this city who are looking to get into this cannabis industry, this multi-billion-dollar cannabis industry, this multi-trillion-dollar cannabis industry, are going down to City Hall, where the Department of Cannabis Regulation is going to be making recommendations to the City Council on changes that need to be made to the ordinance that went into effect to legalize cannabis for recreational use. And we found a few things in those recommendations, one of them being, originally it was said that people have been told to partner up. folks in the black community who qualify for social equity are basically being told to partner up with rich white folks, Koreans, Armenians, Russians, whatever, people that got money, and social equity applicants are being told they can retain 51% of the cannabis business, and these partners are getting 49%. So the partners were told initially they would only be able to have 3 of those situations. These new recommendations are now saying they will be able to have up to 12 shops in our communities. And again, that allows another opportunity for these businesses to, for these folks with money to monopolize this industry once again in our community. So that is one of the things we really caution people moving forward. And ultimately, our thing is that we as a people push to reclaim our right to cultivate cannabis in our own homes. You know, because this whole situation is saying what's coming out these shops have to be treated. And history shows us that when it comes to treating stuff, it's not always in the people's best interest, especially those of us who are black. So, you know, those are some of the things we caution with this whole situation. But all who are available, show up at City Hall tomorrow. Again, you know, this is a time to stand up, let your voice be heard. And if they listen to the people, great. If not, we will move forward with people power and figure out ways to seize what's in our best interest. Also on this video, I'm going to include a link to a video that was put out a few weeks ago showing the history of what's called the white flight from this area known as the Crenshaw district, Africatown. But again, before those white people arrived, it was black folks here. All right, you know, that's the point. People always want to start in history where white folks have established themselves, but when you look at how white folks established themselves in those territories, you see it was criminal. So people always want to talk about before the current black population that is here in Africatown, View Park, Windsor, Ladera, Baldwin, was formerly known as Lamert Park, Africatown. You know, it was white people. But before them, our ancestors were here. You know, our ancestors are native to the Americas, north, south, central, whatever. So, you know, check that out. But moving forward, it just gives you an idea of how systemically, you know, we still got things against us, even though there's a lot of blackface in what appears to be positions of power. You know, they've been failing us. You know, this whole thing about Kamala Harris running for president, look at what she did as Attorney General here in the state of California. I'm going to share over the next few days some pictures we had took at I believe it was the 100th anniversary of the founding of the NAACP, when Kamala Harris was running for Attorney General, and some of the things she was saying she was going to deal with was prison reform, dealing with the takeover of homes by these banks, and a few other things she had laid out, but she never followed up on. So again, you know, she's proven to be a pawn of white corporate America, so she's most definitely not a candidate for us. But also, in the near future, we are still looking to launch this new political party. Want to shout out to Bana, a young group that is also a political action committee. You know, they have joined the fight to rename and reclaim Africatown, so most definitely salute them. Our Queen Mother B. Hall, one of the pioneers in this movement. But also protect Crenshaw, who we anticipate will be at City Hall tomorrow, along with others, like I said, brilliant black minds from the community who have other businesses, but also know it's time for us to get in this legal jackpot of this multi-trillion-dollar cannabis industry. So appreciate all of y'all who have been supporting. You know, without y'all efforts, contributions, it would be way harder. But thank y'all. You know, again, we do have Africatown Enterprise that we are building up, so we can have more brothers actually, to some extent, be compensated for their efforts out here to change and reclaim these conditions in our best interest. So, you know, as always, thank y'all. The Break Bread program will be here Sunday. Shout out to Let's Be Whole and our sister Nina Womack for helping us continue the legacy of our sister Yogi and her fresh produce that she brought to the table. So those of you that can, show up and meet up with us tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. City Hall. Black Power.